In the spring of 1944, Budapest, the capital of Hungary, stood at a crossroads of history. The city, known for its stunning architecture and vibrant cultural life, was about to be engulfed by the horrors of the Holocaust. The German occupation, which began on March 19, 1944, unleashed a wave of terror that would devastate the Jewish community, once a cornerstone of the city's identity. By the time the Nazi regime tightened its grip, the streets of Budapest, once filled with laughter and music, became a stage for fear and despair. The Kozma Street Cemetery, a significant burial site for the Jewish community, became an unexpected refuge during this dark chapter. It was here that a group of gravediggers, led by a man named István, found themselves grappling with a moral dilemma that would define their lives. As deportations escalated and friends and neighbors vanished, these men faced a choice: to remain passive witnesses to the unfolding tragedy or to take a stand against the evil that threatened to consume their city. The gravediggers' decision to act was not born from heroism but from a profound sense of humanity. They understood that the lives of innocent people were at stake, and they could no longer remain silent. By the time summer 1944 approached, they began to lay the groundwork for a secret network that would provide shelter to Jewish families fleeing the Nazis. This act of defiance would not only change their lives but also become a beacon of hope in a time of despair. To understand the gravity of the situation in Budapest during 1944, one must first grasp the historical context of Hungary's Jewish population. Before the war, Hungary had one of the largest Jewish communities in Europe, with approximately 800,000 Jews living in the country. They were integral to the cultural, economic, and social fabric of Hungarian society, contributing significantly to the arts, sciences, and commerce. However, the rise of anti-Semitism, fueled by political and economic instability, began to erode this vibrant community. The German occupation of Hungary in March 1944 marked a turning point. The Nazis swiftly implemented their anti-Jewish policies, and the deportation of Jews to concentration camps began almost immediately. By the end of June 1944, over 437,000 Hungarian Jews had been deported to Auschwitz, where the vast majority were murdered upon arrival. This brutal efficiency shocked the world and left a deep scar on the collective memory of the Jewish people. Budapest, a city divided by the Danube River, was home to a diverse population. The Buda side, with its historic castle and winding streets, contrasted sharply with the Pest side, known for its bustling markets and vibrant nightlife. The Jewish community was primarily concentrated in the Pest district, where synagogues, schools, and cultural institutions thrived. However, as the occupation intensified, the atmosphere shifted dramatically. Fear permeated the air, and the once bustling streets became eerily quiet as families were torn apart and neighbors turned against one another. In this climate of fear, the gravediggers at Kozma Street Cemetery found themselves in a unique position. They were not just laborers, they were custodians of a sacred space that held the memories of countless families. As they witnessed the deportations and the suffering of their community, they were confronted with the reality of their own complicity. The cemetery, once a place of mourning, became a silent witness to the unfolding tragedy. István, a man of quiet strength and conviction, emerged as a leader among the gravediggers. He understood that inaction was a form of complicity, and he could no longer stand by as innocent lives were destroyed. The decision to resist was not made lightly. It was fraught with danger and uncertainty. The gravediggers knew that their actions could cost them their lives, yet they felt an overwhelming moral imperative to act. As summer 1944 approached, the gravediggers began to devise a plan to transform the cemetery into a sanctuary for Jewish families seeking refuge. The cemetery's labyrinthine crypts and maintenance tunnels offered unique opportunities for concealment. The gravediggers, familiar with every corner of the grounds, identified hidden spaces where families could be sheltered from the prying eyes of the German occupiers and the Arrow Cross Party, Hungary's fascist militia. The logistics of their plan required careful coordination and the support of sympathetic locals. The gravediggers reached out to neighbors, shopkeepers, and other members of the community who shared their desire to protect the vulnerable. This burgeoning network of resistance was born from a shared sense of humanity and a collective refusal to accept the tyranny that had taken hold of their city. Smuggling food and supplies into the cemetery became a delicate operation. The gravediggers and their allies disguised these essentials as funeral necessities, using the solemnity of their work as a cover for their activities. They crafted elaborate ruses to avoid detection, relying on their intimate knowledge of the cemetery's layout to navigate the dangers that surrounded them. Each successful delivery was a small victory, a testament to their ingenuity and determination. As summer wore on, the number of families seeking refuge in the cemetery increased. Each new arrival brought with it a sense of urgency and responsibility. The gravediggers understood that they were not just providing shelter, they were offering a lifeline to those who had nowhere else to turn. The bonds formed in those dark days transcended fear, creating a sense of community that would endure despite the challenges ahead. The gravediggers' journey from passive observers to active resistors was a testament to the power of human conscience. In a world where darkness threatened to engulf all, they chose to stand against it, guided by a sense of duty and compassion. Their story, one of courage and resilience, would become a beacon of hope in a time of despair. During the Nazi regime continued its brutal campaign against the Jewish population, the gravediggers at Kozma Street Cemetery became symbols of resistance. Their actions, rooted in compassion and courage, would inspire others to confront their own fears and take a stand against tyranny. The summer of 1944 marked the beginning of a profound transformation, not only for the gravediggers but for the entire community, as they united in the face of overwhelming odds. In the coming months, the struggle for survival would intensify, and the stakes would grow ever higher. The gravediggers and their allies would face unimaginable challenges, yet their resolve would only deepen as they fought to protect the innocent. Their story, one of defiance and resilience, would continue to unfold against the backdrop of a city under siege, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit in the face of adversity. As the leaves turned and the chill of autumn descended upon Budapest in 1944, the gravediggers at Kozma Street Cemetery faced mounting challenges in their clandestine efforts to protect Jewish families. The German occupiers and the Arrow Cross Party intensified their scrutiny, driven by a ruthless determination to quash any form of resistance. The stakes had never been higher, and the risk of discovery loomed over the cemetery. The gravediggers, led by István, knew that their operation was precarious. The network they had painstakingly built over the summer was a fragile lifeline, one that could be severed at any moment by betrayal or misstep. The tension was palpable, a constant undercurrent that threatened to unravel their carefully laid plans. The situation reached a critical point when a neighbor, perhaps motivated by fear or opportunism, reported suspicious activity at the cemetery. The gravediggers had always known that such a betrayal was possible, yet the reality of it was a gut-wrenching blow. The report prompted a raid by the Arrow Cross, a terrifying ordeal that put the hidden families at grave risk. In the face of this threat, the gravediggers demonstrated remarkable ingenuity and resolve. They devised elaborate ruses to protect their charges, using their intimate knowledge of the cemetery's layout to outmaneuver their pursuers. It was a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, one that required quick thinking and nerves of steel. The raid was a harrowing experience, a stark reminder of the dangers they faced. Yet, despite the fear and uncertainty, the gravediggers' resolve only deepened. They understood that their actions were a lifeline for those who had nowhere else to turn, and they were determined to see their mission through to the fear of betrayal was a constant companion, a shadow that loomed over every interaction and decision. The gravediggers had to be ever vigilant, wary of those who might seek to undermine their efforts. It was a heavy burden, one that weighed on their minds and hearts, yet they bore it with quiet dignity and determination. Amidst the chaos and danger, the gravediggers and the families they sheltered formed a bond that transcended fear and desperation. They shared meals and stories, finding solace in each other's company. It was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope and compassion could endure. The fall of 1944 was a time of trial and tribulation for the gravediggers and their allies. They faced the constant threat of discovery, yet they remained steadfast in their commitment to protect the innocent. Their actions were a beacon of hope in a world overshadowed by darkness, a testament to the power of human courage and compassion. As winter approached, the gravediggers knew that their mission was far from over. The challenges they faced were immense, yet they pressed on, driven by a sense of duty and a belief in the possibility of a better world. Their story, one of defiance and resilience, will continue to inspire future generations, a reminder of the enduring power of the human spirit in the face of adversity. As the biting winds of December swept through Budapest, the city lay shrouded in a grim silence, punctuated only by the distant rumble of artillery. Within the labyrinthine confines of Kozma Street Cemetery, a different kind of silence prevailed, a silence of shared resolve and whispered hopes. Here, beneath the earth, a community had formed, bound not by blood but by the shared struggle for survival. The gravediggers, led by István, had become more than mere custodians of the dead. They were now the guardians of life, their actions a quiet rebellion against the forces of darkness that sought to extinguish hope. Each day, they navigated the treacherous waters of secrecy, their every move calculated to avoid detection by the ever-watchful eyes of the German occupiers and the Arrow Cross Party. In the dimly lit crypts and tunnels, the Jewish families found solace in each other's company. Despite the ever-present danger, moments of joy and laughter pierced the gloom. Children, unaware of the full gravity of their situation, played games and whispered stories, their innocence a poignant reminder of what was at stake. The adults, though burdened by fear, found strength in their unity, each small victory a testament to their resilience. The gravediggers, too, found themselves transformed by the experience. Once resigned to their roles as laborers, they now embraced their new identities as protectors. Their bond with the families they sheltered deepened with each passing day, forged in the crucible of shared adversity. As they shared meals and stories, a profound sense of community emerged, transcending the barriers of religion and circumstance. Amidst the darkness, acts of kindness and compassion illuminated the path forward. The gravediggers, risking their lives, continued to smuggle food and supplies into the cemetery, their ingenuity and resourcefulness a lifeline for those in hiding. They devised systems of signals and codes, ensuring that their clandestine operation remained undetected. Each successful delivery was a triumph, a reminder that even in the bleakest of times, humanity could prevail. As the days turned into weeks, the families and their protectors celebrated small milestones, birthdays, anniversaries, and religious observances. These moments, though fleeting, provided a semblance of normalcy amidst the chaos. The gravediggers, once strangers to the customs and traditions of their charges, participated in these celebrations, their presence a testament to the bonds that had formed. Yet, beneath the surface, the specter of discovery loomed large. The gravediggers knew that a single misstep could unravel everything they had worked for, placing the lives of those they had sworn to protect in jeopardy. The weight of this responsibility was immense, but it only served to strengthen their resolve. They were determined to see their mission through, no matter the cost. As December drew to a close, the gravediggers and the families they sheltered faced an uncertain future. The city was on the brink of collapse, the sounds of war growing ever closer. Yet, within the confines of the cemetery, a different kind of battle was being fought, a battle for dignity, for humanity, and for the right to live free from fear. It was this indomitable spirit that defined their experience. The gravediggers and the families they sheltered had become more than mere survivors. They were symbols of resistance, their story a testament to the power of human resilience in the face of unimaginable adversity. As the new year dawned in January 1945, Budapest lay in the grip of a relentless siege, the echoes of artillery fire reverberating through the streets. The city had transformed into a battleground, its once vibrant life reduced to a struggle for survival amidst the ruins. For the gravediggers of Kozma Street Cemetery, the arrival of liberation was both a promise of hope and a harbinger of uncertainty. The families they had sheltered for months now faced the reality of a world forever changed by war. The gravediggers, led by István, had become more than mere custodians of the dead. They were now guardians of life, their actions a quiet rebellion against the forces of darkness that sought to extinguish hope. The bonds forged in the hidden depths of the cemetery were profound, yet the weight of their choices loomed large. They had risked everything to protect the innocent, but the cost had been high. Each day spent in the shadows brought with it a moral dilemma: how to reconcile their actions with the harsh realities of survival in a world torn apart by hatred and violence. As Soviet forces advanced, the gravediggers faced new challenges. The cemetery, once a sanctuary, was now at risk of becoming a target. The families in hiding were forced to remain silent and still, their every movement calculated to avoid detection. The gravediggers, too, had to navigate this new reality, their every action scrutinized by the occupying forces. The fear of discovery was a constant companion, a shadow that loomed over every interaction and decision. Despite the dangers, the gravediggers continued to provide for those in their care. They scavenged for food and supplies, braving the war-torn streets in search of sustenance. Their efforts were tireless, their determination unwavering. They knew that the survival of the families depended on their ingenuity and courage. Yet, with each successful delivery, they were reminded of the fragility of their situation. A single misstep could unravel everything they had worked for, placing the lives of those they had sworn to protect in jeopardy. The siege of Budapest was not just a physical battle, it was a psychological one as well. The gravediggers grappled with the moral complexities of their actions. They had chosen to defy the Nazi regime, but at what cost? The weight of their choices lingered, a reminder of the moral dilemmas faced by those who dared to stand against tyranny. Each life saved was a victory, yet the specter of betrayal and the haunting memories of those lost loomed large in their minds. As the days turned into weeks, the families and their protectors shared in each other's fears and hopes. They found solace in one another, their collective spirit a beacon of light in the darkness. The gravediggers, once ordinary men, had become heroes in the eyes of those they protected, their actions a testament to the power of compassion and courage. Yet, the burden of their choices weighed heavily on their hearts. The liberation of Budapest on January 18, 1945, marked a turning point for the gravediggers and the families they had sheltered. As Soviet forces swept through the city, the atmosphere was charged with a mix of relief and trepidation. The gravediggers emerged from their underground refuge, blinking in the harsh winter light, their hearts heavy with the weight of all they had endured. The cemetery, once a place of death, had become a symbol of life and defiance. In the aftermath of liberation, the gravediggers were hailed as heroes, their story a beacon of hope in a world scarred by war. Yet, they were also confronted with the harsh realities of their choices. They had risked everything to protect the innocent, but the cost had been high. The weight of their actions lingered, a reminder of the moral complexities faced by those who dared to stand against tyranny. The families they had sheltered began to rebuild their lives, but the scars of war ran deep. Many had lost loved ones, homes, and a sense of normalcy. The gravediggers, too, faced the challenge of reconciling their past actions with the present reality. They had acted out of a sense of duty and compassion, yet they were haunted by the memories of those who had not been saved. The moral dilemmas they faced were not easily resolved. They would carry the burden of their choices for the rest of their lives. As Budapest began to heal, the gravediggers and the families they had saved grappled with the trauma of their experiences. The cemetery, once a site of despair, had become a place of remembrance and reflection. It stood as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope could prevail. The gravediggers' actions had saved countless lives, their bravery a testament to the power of ordinary people to effect extraordinary change. In the years that followed, the cemetery became a place of remembrance and reflection. Memorials were erected to honor the lives lost and those saved, a testament to the power of human compassion in the face of unimaginable adversity. The gravediggers, once ordinary men, had become local heroes, their story a beacon of hope in a world scarred by war. As they navigated the complexities of their newfound status, they were determined to ensure that the lessons learned during those dark days would not be forgotten. In the wake of war, Budapest was a city transformed. The scars of conflict were visible everywhere, from the shattered buildings to the haunted eyes of its inhabitants. Yet, amidst the rubble, a new sense of hope emerged, a hope born from the resilience of those who had endured the unthinkable. The gravediggers of Kozma Street Cemetery, having emerged from the shadows, found themselves at the forefront of a movement to confront the past and embrace a future defined by compassion and courage. The cemetery, once a place of death, had become a symbol of life and defiance. It stood as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope could prevail. The gravediggers, once mere laborers, had become local heroes, their story a beacon of hope in a world scarred by war. They were celebrated for their bravery, yet they grappled with the moral complexities of their actions. The burden of their choices lingered, a reminder of the sacrifices made in the name of humanity. As Budapest began to rebuild, the gravediggers faced a new challenge, coming to terms with the moral complexities of their actions. They had risked everything to protect the innocent, but the cost had been high. The weight of their actions lingered, a reminder of the moral dilemmas faced by those who dared to stand against tyranny. The gravediggers found themselves at a crossroads, torn between the desire to be celebrated as heroes and the haunting memories of those who had not been saved. In the years that followed, the cemetery became a place of remembrance and reflection. Memorials were erected to honor the lives lost and those saved, a testament to the power of human compassion in the face of unimaginable adversity. The gravediggers, once ordinary men, had become symbols of resistance, their story a testament to the power of ordinary people to effect extraordinary change. They were determined to ensure that the lessons learned during those dark days would not be forgotten. As the city healed, the gravediggers and the families they had saved grappled with the trauma of their experiences. The cemetery, once a site of despair, had become a place of remembrance and reflection. It stood as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope could prevail. The gravediggers' actions had saved countless lives, their bravery a testament to the power of ordinary people to effect extraordinary change. The transformation of the cemetery from a place of death to a symbol of life and defiance marked a shift in societal values. The community began to recognize the importance of standing against injustice, even in the face of overwhelming odds. The gravediggers' actions had not only saved lives, but had also inspired others to confront their own histories and embrace a future defined by compassion and courage. In the years following the war, the gravediggers became advocates for peace and reconciliation. They shared their story with others, emphasizing the importance of empathy and understanding in a world still healing from the wounds of conflict. Their experiences served as a powerful reminder of the consequences of hatred and the necessity of standing up for what is right. The cemetery, now a place of pilgrimage, drew visitors from around the world. People came to pay their respects, to honor the memory of those lost, and to reflect on the lessons learned from the past. The gravediggers, now older and wiser, took it upon themselves to educate others about the importance of compassion and the need to resist tyranny in all its forms. As they stood among the gravestones, the gravediggers reflected on their journey. They had faced unimaginable challenges, yet they had emerged stronger, united by a shared commitment to humanity. Their story, once hidden beneath the earth, had come to light, inspiring future generations to reflect on the importance of empathy and resistance against tyranny. In the The enduring legacy of the gravediggers at Kozma Street Cemetery stands as a testament to the power of human compassion in the darkest of times. Their story, once hidden beneath the earth, has come to light, inspiring future generations to reflect on the importance of empathy and resistance against tyranny. As we remember these unsung heroes, their legacy continues to inspire acts of courage and kindness in the face of adversity. As the years passed, the gravediggers found solace in the knowledge that their actions had made a difference. They had chosen to stand against evil, to protect the innocent, and to embody the spirit of resistance that defined their legacy. The cemetery, once a place of despair, had become a symbol of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, humanity could prevail. The transformation of the cemetery and the gravediggers' journey from shadows to light serve as a powerful reminder of the resilience of the human spirit. Their story, marked by courage and compassion, continues to resonate, inspiring future generations to confront their own histories and embrace a future defined by empathy and understanding. In the years following the liberation of Budapest, the enduring legacy of the gravediggers at Kozma Street Cemetery has transformed into a powerful narrative of resilience, compassion, and moral courage. Their actions during one of history's darkest periods serve as a poignant reminder of the capacity for humanity to prevail against tyranny and hatred. As the world grapples with the lessons of the Holocaust, the story of these unsung heroes continues to resonate, inspiring generations to confront injustice and embrace empathy. The aftermath of World War II left Budapest in ruins, both physically and emotionally. The scars of conflict were etched into the city's landscape, and the collective trauma of its inhabitants was palpable. For the gravediggers, the end of the war marked not only a moment of liberation but also a time of reckoning. They had witnessed the depths of human depravity and had acted against it, but the burden of their choices weighed heavily on their consciences. In the years immediately following the war, the gravediggers found themselves navigating a complex landscape of grief and guilt. Many of the families they had sheltered had lost loved ones, and the emotional toll of survival was profound. The gravediggers became not only protectors but also confidants, helping those they had saved to process their trauma and rebuild their lives. They organized gatherings, where survivors could share their stories and find solace in shared experiences. These meetings became a vital part of the healing process, fostering a sense of community among those who had endured unimaginable suffering. As Budapest began to rebuild, the cemetery itself underwent a transformation. Once a site of despair, it became a place of remembrance and reflection. The gravediggers, alongside the families they had saved, worked to honor the memory of those who had perished during the Holocaust. They erected memorials and organized commemorative events, ensuring that the stories of the victims would not be forgotten. The cemetery became a sacred space, a testament to resilience and the enduring spirit of those who had fought for survival. The enduring legacy of the gravediggers at Kozma Street Cemetery has been commemorated through various initiatives aimed at preserving the memory of the Holocaust and promoting awareness of the moral choices faced during that dark period. Memorials have been established within the cemetery, each bearing the names of those who perished and those who survived, serving as a poignant reminder of the lives intertwined in the struggle against oppression. In 1991, a significant memorial was unveiled at Kozma Street Cemetery, dedicated to the Jewish victims of the Holocaust. This monument, designed by renowned sculptor Imre Varga, features a striking representation of a broken tree, symbolizing the lives cut short and the resilience of those who survived. The memorial serves as a focal point for annual commemorative events, drawing visitors from around the world who come to pay their respects and reflect on the lessons of history. Educational initiatives have also emerged in the wake of the gravediggers' legacy. Schools and community organizations have developed programs aimed at teaching young people about the Holocaust, the importance of tolerance, and the need for active resistance against hatred and discrimination. These programs often include visits to Kozma Street Cemetery, where students can learn about the gravediggers' actions and the broader context of the Holocaust. By engaging with this history, future generations are encouraged to reflect on their own responsibilities in the fight against injustice. In addition to local efforts, the account of the Gravediggers has gained international recognition. Documentaries, books, and academic studies have been produced, shedding light on their courageous actions and the moral dilemmas they faced. These narratives serve not only to honor the Gravediggers but also to inspire a global audience to confront the ongoing challenges of prejudice and intolerance. The effect of the Gravediggers' actions extends far beyond the immediate aftermath of the war. Their story has become a powerful symbol of resistance, illustrating the profound effect that individual choices can have in the face of systemic evil. The legacy of their courage has inspired countless individuals and movements around the world, serving as a reminder that even in the darkest times, acts of compassion can spark change. In Hungary, the Gravediggers' story has contributed to a broader discourse on the Holocaust and the importance of acknowledging the past. As the country continues to grapple with its history, their actions serve as a moral compass, guiding discussions on the responsibilities of citizens in the face of oppression. The narrative of the Gravediggers has become a touchstone for those advocating for human rights and social justice, emphasizing the need for vigilance against the forces of hatred that persist in society. Moreover, the Gravediggers' legacy has transcended national borders, resonating with individuals and communities around the world. Their story has been embraced by various organizations dedicated to combating anti-Semitism and promoting tolerance. Initiatives inspired by their actions have emerged globally, encouraging individuals to take a stand against injustice and to act with compassion in their own communities. In a world still plagued by conflict and division, the Gravediggers' legacy serves as a beacon of hope. Their actions remind us that ordinary people have the power to effect extraordinary change, and that standing up for what is right is a moral imperative. As we reflect on their story, we are called to confront our own responsibilities in the fight against hatred and to embrace the values of empathy and understanding. Today, Kozma Street Cemetery stands as a living testament to the resilience of the human spirit. It is not only a place of remembrance but also a site of education and reflection. Visitors from around the world come to pay their respects, to learn about the Holocaust, and to honor the legacy of those who fought against tyranny. The cemetery has become a symbol of hope, a reminder that even in the face of unimaginable adversity, compassion and courage can prevail. The Gravediggers' story continues to inspire new generations, encouraging individuals to reflect on their own moral choices and to take action in their communities. The lessons learned from their experiences are as relevant today as they were during the war, reminding us of the importance of standing against injustice and embracing our shared humanity. As we commemorate the enduring legacy of the Gravediggers at Kozma Street Cemetery, we are reminded of the power of individual actions in the face of systemic evil. Their story serves as a beacon of hope, a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit, and a call to action for all of us to confront hatred and to embrace compassion. In closing, the enduring legacy of the Gravediggers is not merely a historical account, it is a living narrative that continues to shape our understanding of humanity. Their courage and compassion remind us that, even in the darkest of times, we have the power to choose hope over despair, to act with kindness, and to stand up for what is right. As we reflect on their story, we are called to honor their legacy by embodying the values they exemplified: courage, compassion, and an unwavering commitment to justice.